Okay. All right. This is the Trading View crash course. Crypto Mindset Q1. All right. Here we go. Everybody on TradingView?
Yep, give me one second. I'm just now doing I'm getting on my computer.
Hold on. I need to put the chat. Let me pull up the chat. All right, let's see if this works. Screen share here. Tight. Okay. I guess I should get a random coin. What have I not? I'll do. All right. I can see the chat now. One's in the chat if everybody's on TradingView. Okay, cool. So first off, to grab a coin to figure out a pair, you go to this symbol right here in this area, and then you type it in. I'm gonna chart out BTC from where's it at? Coinbase. Okay. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I gotta let some other people in. I don't know why I have to admit them. Oh, I need a co-host. That's why. Okay.
You might be able to turn off the waiting room too.
How do you do that?
Might be under meeting settings. I don't know because I'm not host, so.
All right, is that Cody that said that?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so you're host now. So can you monitor that? Because if I go into screen share, then I can't let people in.
Yeah, I just disabled it right now.
Oh, perfect. Thank you. Okay, here we go. Come on, computer. You got it. You need to enable me. Enable me to do screen sharing.
Yeah, 1 second. I don't have an option for that. Hold on. I'll pass it back.
Okay. Where did you go to?
So at the bottom left, it says security, and it says enable waiting room, and it should be unchecked.
Got it. Okay. It was unchecked. Okay, uncheck it. Right? You have disabled the waiting room. Okay. All right. Should be good. Okay, here we go. So, Okay, so first off, you're gonna want to pull up a coin in the top left area. Also, it'll come closed like this. Is everybody actually in a chart? I know when you go into TradingView, it doesn't start you out at a chart.
What coin are you doing?
Just all right. Is everybody on a chart screen? Because I know when you go into TradingView, I just want to make sure everybody's.
Yeah, I'm on the Ethereum to the US dollar one.
Okay.
Maybe we should all do the same chart. That way we can all like compare numbers and
Yeah, let's.
Yeah.
We should just do Bitcoin to US dollar on Coinbase. I know we don't use Coinbase, but my other charts I'm not going to change. Coinbase, I'm not really worried about this chart. So Bitcoin to US dollar. So
it's just
everybody
BTC/USD.
BTC/USD.
Oh, I see what you meant by Coinbase. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So when you type in BTC USD over on the right side here, you'll see the exchange. So you just click it, and yours will come up a big one.
Yeah.
Like this.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, that's how you add coins. Now, the way I like to add coins, instead of having to remember all the ticker symbols, this button right here is called your watch list.
Yeah.
And you can add right here. And then, add them as you please. And then you can have a list. So if you look here, I have BLX, I have this is Bitcoin dominance. So I always check my Bitcoin dominance chart. So this is Bitcoin compared to all the other altcoins. So when this starts trending lower, then the altcoins turn on. Right now it's trending up. So Bitcoin is pumping. Total 2 is the same thing, but excluding Bitcoin. Anyway.
Where's the Bitcoin dominance one? What's the
BTC.D? BTC period D.
Okay, got it.
And then there's total market cap.
How do you find the Bitcoin's dominance?
BTC.D.
If you don't have it?
Who is that?
Thomas, you gotta fix your mic, dude. We're getting machine gun fire over here.
Yeah, I can't monitor it when I'm screen sharing. Okay. So what I like to do is, you see how you can color code these too. So you can change the color right here. I like to do the blue chip stock ones. And then all the other ones in purple are just like other altcoins. I'm going to start doing the reddish ones and pink ones as DeFi coins. So like Uni and well, not really DeFi, but only ones that I can get on Uniswap. So not DeFi coins, but the ones that are on decentralized exchanges. All these other ones are on Binance. So
you can pick what color you want those, yeah?
Yes, there's 5 colors. You click on this little tab here and it comes up. There's red, yellow, green, purple, blue.
Okay.
And what's nice is you can come in here and you can see what the numbers are for this day. So what the change is in percentage on the day. Also, we'll start with that. Here's your time right here. So if you click this, it'll automatically be on UTC, which is regular UTC time, which I think is like London or somewhere. Mine's on Los Angeles because I'm on the West Coast. But this way, since I have mine selected, then this will be accurate to, you know, my calendar. Another thing is, if you notice, a lot of yours is probably gray, like this color gray. If you want to change anything, the settings are right here. You click on this button and you go to appearance. I think it says appearance or settings. And you go to appearance here. And then you can mess around with the background. I like it a darker black instead of the gray. So that's the only thing I've changed on mine. But you can go through all these appearance settings and you can change the way it looks dramatically.
What button did you hit after the settings one?
Appearance.
Go
Appearances.
settings and then appearance.
Now, once I did that, I've had a load of grids. So I have the black background, but there's white gridding.
You can get rid of the gridding too.
Okay.
You go to appearance and you go to vertical grid lines right here.
Cool. Yeah, yeah.
And horizontal grid lines right there. And you can you go to the opacity right here and you just turn it off.
Okay.
And they're completely gone if you want. I like to leave them on a little bit. And this is open forum. Like if anybody has, you know, any questions, just feel free to chime in.
That
Like,
I don't wanna,
mute. I muted him. Got it.
that settings button just disappeared when I clicked it. Like now I can't. Now my settings just isn't showing.
What do you mean?
So like close out that chart settings.
Yep.
And where is your settings button? Yeah,
Right
that
here.
little.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's
there it is.
gone?
So now it's back. So you click settings. You click on
Yep.
that. Then you click settings. Then you click appearance.
Yep.
And which one makes it black?
You go to vertical grid lines right here, and you click
Yep.
on the color scheme,
Yep.
and you drop this slider right here.
Ooh. Cool.
And there's all kinds of stuff you can do, like the scales text. So like on the right, I mean, you can turn it way big, which you wouldn't need. But you can see like the difference. You don't really need to change those. So yeah, I'm gonna keep moving on. All right, and then so one thing to note, there's a little thing here that says base layout. So you'll want.
I have a question. Is that okay?
Yeah, what's up?
In the crypto list, in the right
Yes.
column,
Yeah.
I can't get. Okay, sorry, I don't know why. I just swapped computers, and now I have the list exactly as it is on your. No, sorry. I don't have the list on TradingView as you have it. I don't know why.
I
don't
built
have-
this list. I've built this list. You have to hit plus and you have to type in these. And so plus, you have to find it. And you have to hit add to watch list right here. And then it'll add it to your watch list. I've built this list over time. This list is not automatic.
Okay, so so the 4 top ones, I need to find them first and then add them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. BLX, BTC dominance, total 1, total 2. Those are not those show like market cap and dominance. They're not actual traded you know, it's not a trading pair. So it's a comparison chart. So it's just something for knowledge. It's not something that you actually trade.
Okay. I'm just gonna copy your list, and then I'm gonna keep up as best as I can. Thanks for your time. I'll unmute.
Okay, so one thing you guys want to take note of is this base layout button right here. It says autosave on every 5 minutes. Mine says base layout. I don't know what yours says. I named mine base layout, but you can do a new chart layout. And then basically what happens is as you do your charts and set them up, it'll save every 5 minutes. And then when you come, like you get off the computer and you get back on the computer, then you come back on, everything will be there. You don't have to like reset everything up. And when you load a new chart, like all your indicators will already be on there. So you don't have to go over here to indicators for every single chart and put them on your screen.
So you're basically making a template that you
A
can
template.
you can
Exactly.
load on every chart. Yeah.
Guys, give me 1 second. I'm just kind of cold. I'm gonna put a jacket on. Exactly. Yeah. It's a template. Okay. So I know there's a lot of buttons, so we'll just kind of go through them pretty quickly, but we'll start far left. So right here is your main button right here. Same thing. You can save your layout. So instead of a template, it's called a layout. There's dark color theme. So I like dark color theme. If you want it bright, you can. I'm not going to do that. Okay, so we know how to get our, we need to go back to BTC. USD. Coinbase, okay. Okay, so if you see here, this is all your time frames for your charts. So this 5 minute, 15 minute, 30 minute, 1 hour, 2 hour. Your guys probably looks a little bit different than this. I have favorited. So if you go to the right of the times, you can favorite the ones that you mainly want to look at, and it'll add them to this bar up here. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. What times do you do it? 5, 15, 20, 5, 15, 30, 1 hour, 2 hour?
Yeah, primarily I look at the 1 hour, 4 hour, the daily. I only go into the 30 minute and 15 minute when I'm really trying to nail an entry. But when I'm looking for patterns, you're pretty much always going to be looking at like 4 hours. And the 4 hours kind of the sweet spot. I know Charlie didn't recommend going below 8 hour for long-term trends because he's really trying to get you guys to focus on, you know, you need, before you start looking at trading, you want to set up your allocation and have that prepared. Besides that, basic candles are right here.
Hey,
So
Corey,
yeah.
sorry, real quick regarding the
Go
hour.
ahead.
Do you think that's also dependent on the liquidity of the coin, like the altcoins? You're pretty much gonna have to use longer time frames because they don't have as
Yeah, of
much,
course.
much
Yeah,
prints,
definitely.
right? Okay,
Yeah.
but right now, like what you're saying for Bitcoin,
Well, it's not just that. It's just that you get a lot more chop at lower time frames. To see a real trend, you're gonna want to use 4 hour, 8 hour day candles to see trends. If you try to find trends on the 5 minute, 15 minute time frames, you're gonna see stuff that's not there. You know, you're gonna find trends that aren't like, you might see a trend that looks familiar, but it's not gonna really carry weight because it's not on the larger time frame.
well, I feel like in the Bitcoin, the lower time frames obviously work better because it's so super liquid, but then you have to keep extending it out as you go down to the other coins.
Yeah, but when you're looking for like what the move, when you're trying to like look at what the next move is gonna be, the bigger time frame takes precedence over the smaller time frame.
Yeah, absolutely. I hear you. Thanks.
So candles is all you really need to know. If there's only one other thing that you may want to use, it's Heikin Ashi. What it does is it takes the averages and spreads them differently. I don't know quite how it works, but basically instead of doing a regular in-out candle, then it takes more of the averages, so it kind of shows you when you need to exit the trade. So I really like to take a look at these just every now and then because it's more fluid. These are good on lower time frames to help you if you're gonna trade like really low time frames. I just swing trade, I don't day trade. So yeah, let me switch that back.
And for your range, what do you have there?
Range. I'm on the day. I'm on the day.
No, you know, on the drop down for your time, it has seconds, minutes, hours, days, and then below that it has ranges. It says one range.
Yeah, I don't mess with those.
Okay, okay.
I honestly don't know what that means, but I would assume it means just like one unit.
Okay.
But I honestly don't know. I just started learning TradingView. I learned coinage. I just started learning Coinigy in like March. So, and then I switched over to TradingView and I started paying for it. So, okay. Let's start with our indicators that we're going to want to put on the chart. So there's two different types of indicators. There are overlays and oscillators. Overlays and oscillators. So, the overlays, the oscillators would be, you want to pick MACD. So you want to go to indicators and strategies and type in MACD and go to the first one, the one that says built in, not the one that says strategy, just the one that says built in. Star it so you can save it to your favorites. You also want to put on relative strength index. Oh, I've got too many down here now. And then there's one more I use. This one's not, a lot of people don't know about it. It's very similar to the MACD, but it's a little more precise. So it's called the wave trend oscillator. It's called Wave Trend Strategy by Lazy Bear, I think.
What's coming up for me is Wave Trend, then Lazy Bear in brackets, VX by DGT.
Type out all of wave trend strategy, then it comes up.
Yeah, Wave Trend Strategy by Lazy Bear. And then it's gonna pop up this thing on the bottom where it says Wave Trend Strategy. I don't know how to use this yet. I'm still working on that. So you just minimize right here where it says hide. Just get rid of that. And I'm gonna get rid of that. Okay, and then one thing I like to do is so you have these three, oh, volume, duh, idiot. Go to indicators and you're gonna wanna, is volume already on your guys' screen or?
I don't think so.
One on the bottom, or that's the one on the right?
This right here, the red and green candles right here.
Yeah, mine's already there.
Okay, yeah, I figured volume, it's usually built in.
How did you minimize that that wave trend strategy?
Let
Just drag it down.
right here, right here. There's a
That fills
minute.
out my entire screen when I click it.
There's a little arrow. It says show. It says minimize.
Oh.
Show. Minimize. If you guys, so in a minute, we're probably gonna run into some issues because if you guys aren't paying for it, you don't have enough. You can only use so many indicators.
I just signed up for the free trial.
Okay, yeah, I think you can use 3 to 5, maybe. I don't know, but if we start running into problems, then we'll just exit out of these, and then I'll show you the overlays separate. But the ideal thing is to use a conjunction of the both of them, which is this is your oscillators, and then you'll have overlays up here, which are your moving averages, and then like your Bollinger Bands that that Charlie uses and stuff like that. Okay, so does everybody have these 3 on there? If anybody doesn't, you can speak up. I can't see the chat. So.
My chart looks completely different to what you have right now. My candles are very thick. My candles are very thick, and it's not long out like yours. What?
Oh,
you have yours
okay.
set for one.
Do you have a wheel on your mouse?
No, I'm on Mac. I'm using the pad.
Ooh, the pad.
Yeah, Mark, I'm on a Mac too. It sounds like you're just really zoomed in. So you want to use that pad to kind
Okay.
of just scroll out your view, and then that'll make it look a little bit more like
Yeah,
course.
you gotta go 2 fingers like from the top left and the bottom
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
and go like in towards each other like that.
Yeah, when I do that, it just brings me into all my open tabs. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't. Sorry, it's way easier with a mouse.
I'll need a mouse. I'll need a mouse. Yeah.
Yeah, a mouse is
Guys.
kind of key.
Yeah. Okay.
Can I ask a question real quick?
Of course, go ahead.
What were you talking about the time a minute ago? I missed that.
These right here. These are the time. This is
that's what
this is
you're
the
referring to.
time.
Okay.
This is the time scale of the candles. Okay, so
Gotcha.
so each of these candles is 1 day. Each of these candles is 1 day. When you hit 8 hours, now each of these candles is 8 hours apart. So you get more information. Same chart, more information. 4 hours. So each candle, it's 4 hours. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you. I thought you were referring to something else. I'm sorry.
No, I should have made that clear. This affects the candles and the time scale that you're on. All right.
Hi, sorry, Karik, I have just a short question about
Yes.
the candles. How do you display it? I've just aligned
What-
right now, and like the
You have a line. Okay, you go to this button right here.
okay,
It says candles,
yeah.
and you're on line.
Oh,
You want to
okay.
go up to candles.
Um,
You're here. You want to go to here.
I don't see this like option.
Right. Okay. Right beside all these, there should be a thing right here. It'll look like this.
Okay, I will check. It seems like my the buttons are located differently on my version.
Are you on TradingView?
Yeah, I am.
You might have to go to see full featured chart. It's on the right hand side. If you're just on the landing page for Bitcoin US dollar,
Oh yeah, I am. So where should I go?
I think it's on the right, upper right hand side of the chart. If you're on the
Yeah.
landing page,
Yeah.
it'll say full featured chart. And that's where you can get all those buttons.
Okay, I will check. Thank you.
Yeah, if you can't figure it out, get back to us in like 3 minutes and we'll get
Okay.
you sorted out. But see if you can find that real fast.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
One quick thing.
Yes.
My trading use completely fucked up compared to what you have on the screen, but you put this video tutorial out in the forum, right? So I can just sit in my own time and fix it.
Yeah, I'm
right?
recording it. I gotta figure out how to send it to Charlie. I'm new to the whole leading the Zoom thing, so.
Yeah, now to that point, Corey, it almost feels like we should just let you drive, man, and we should just like kind of look and take notes. I feel like all the questions are almost
Cool.
getting
All right,
in your
let's
way.
go. Yeah, I mean, I figured we have some time though. It's only 5:14. So, all right. So we covered that. Background, did that. RSI, MACD. Okay. So your MACD is your moving average, convergence, and divergence. So when the basic thing that you need to know is when your MACD is down here and it starts to cross upward and the blue line is crossing the red line. Also, your guys is probably okay. Your guys is probably may not look like mine. Is that accurate? Is the blue
Yeah.
line like a dark blue? Is it darker than mine?
I don't even have that on my chart, but I'm just trying to follow along just to like grasp what you're doing.
My colors are looking like yours.
Yeah, it's like sky blue and red.
Okay. Okay. Well, sometimes when you, I don't know, sometimes when you load in, sometimes it's darker blue and it's harder to see when it's small like this. So you can go into settings here on the MACD and then you can go to style. And then you can change the colors of the lines, which are right here. The signal line and the MACD line. Usually it's like a dark blue. I usually change it, but seems to be okay for you guys. Okay, and then we're gonna drop down here to the RSI. Are you guys, is everybody getting this little toolbar here? Because if you're not getting this toolbar, it's because this little arrow needs to be dropped down. When this arrow is up, you will not get this toolbar down here. But when you drop this down, which lists all your overlays, then you'll get your toolbar down here for your oscillators. And then you want to go into settings of RSI. Everybody should do this. Everybody should do this. I'm going to repeat that. It'll say 70 and 30. You should change it to 80 and 20.
Okay, you see on the left-hand side of your screen, that little blue box?
Yeah, the box with the settings sign. There's an eyeball.
No. You
What's
know, okay, where the eyeball is?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, below the, no, up and to the left a bit, on the very left-hand side. There, I don't have that.
Yeah, I don't either, Mark. I think it's maybe because maybe we're on the trial.
Yeah, all this thing does right here is it says that new drawings are replicated to all charts in the layout and shown when the same ticker is selected. So the reason this is on is when I do stuff on this chart, as far as indicators, it'll apply it to all my charts.
Okay.
So I don't have to go in and put all the indicators on every single chart that I do. That goes along with your base layout.
Okay.
It's like creating your template.
Corey, could you point out where to access the RSI dropdown again, please?
You will go to indicators right here.
Yep.
Click on indicators. You'll type in relative strength index.
I got it.
And
Thanks,
what
Corey.
relative strength index? Okay, well, let's go back to this. First thing you need to do is go to settings, change it to 80 and 20.
Upper band, lower band, 80-20.
Yeah,
What does that mean?
I'll show you right now. So what that means is if you see right here, this is about at 70. So if we didn't change that, then the purple would be down to this, line right here. It would be about like that. So this would be black and this would be black. I like to expand the purple zone. Okay, so when the RSI is above this line, it is extremely overbought. Extremely overbought
Okay.
on the relative strength index line. Meaning, if it's extremely overbought, what do you think is going to happen? It's probably going to come down, right? So we had a massive run up in Bitcoin yesterday, and it's extremely overbought. There's been a lot more buys coming into the market than there are sales. And the opposite of that, when it's way down here and below the purple line, then it's extremely oversold, and you can start to look for a correction and start to look for it to turn upward.
Okay.
Sorry, I read like when the range is between 80 and 20, it's the money flow index. Have you heard of it?
Well, I'm sorry, go say that again.
Yeah, when the range is between 80 and 20.
Yeah.
It's called the money flow index instead of the relative strength index, which is between 70 and 30.
Interesting. Yeah, you can do the money flow. You can do the money flow under indicators. I don't know if it's exactly the same as the RSI, but you can actually access money flow in indicators right here.
Like it seems the benefit of the MFI is it takes the volume into account compared to the RSI.
Interesting. Thank you. I didn't know that. I'm still learning a lot of this myself. So this is just the basics that most people use, as far as that most people use: moving averages, RSI, and MACD. That's the basics of trading or of charting. But thank you. I will. I'm gonna back test that. I'm gonna pull up some charts later and look at RSI versus money flow and see which one is more accurate on their signals. So thank you for that information. Another thing is on these little guys down here, if you double click, they would go big. So if you double click, they go big.
Hey, Corey, just to back up that last comment, I just threw the money flow on there, and it looks like it actually has settings in the style for the MFI that identify overbought and oversold. So I think that one actually might be the one we want to look at. Just as
if you watch most technical analysis people, that they're looking at RSI. I have a friend that uses money flow, but for the most part, I'm just giving you like what the standard is essentially.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I just took a quick look, and it looks like everything we switched to is 80-20, and then it says overbought and oversold, which sounds like
cool.
what we're on. So
I will definitely check it out later. I just haven't used it. So
no, all good.
Another thing that the RSI doesn't have, but you should always add to it, is you should come and find 50, like right at 50, as close as you can. And if you hit Alt on your computer, you hit Alt H, as in Harry, Alt H, it'll make a horizontal line all the way across. This is your 50 line. When RSI moves above the 50 line, that's a good thing. You see how it bounces off the 50 line a lot right here? And it takes an extreme break of the 50 line before you really see it start to come back down. This is kind of, this is so much volatility. This is not accurate, but the 50 line is important to watch because as between this zone and this zone is when you can see strong price action movement to the upside. Definitely when it's down here, you're going to start to see the reversal, but it might, moving from here to here, price action may only go sideways. So if you're having RSI go this direction, then like I said, you may only see price action go slightly up. But when it breaks into this area, it could start to turn up more parabolic.
Keep hearing y'all say parabolic. What is it?
Parabolic is a parabola is like this.
Bananas. Just think of it that way.
Like
Just goes vroom.
a parabola is like
Hockey
that,
stick.
like that. So parabolic.
Hey Corey, how did you set that 50 line, Corey?
Alt H. You bring your cursor to, you see how it says 50 over here?
I do.
On the side, it tracks your numbers. So you want to get it as close to 50 as possible. 50.02 is good. You hit Alt H.
Any
if you-
Mac users figure out the translation for that one?
I
don't think we have alt on ours. I'll pull it around. Okay, so we just
Yeah,
set
Lawrence,
it ourselves.
Lawrence,
Yep.
Lawrence, it's Option
H.
Option H.
Gotcha. Thanks, Mark.
You can also just set a line, right click on it and edit it and set it at 50.
The nice thing is learning the keystrokes will help you in the long run. So
thanks, guys.
And then Alt V or Option V. Wait, it's not working. I thought that was the vertical line. Yeah, Alt V is the vertical line. So Alt H horizontal, Alt V is vertical. So V for vertical, H for horizontal. Okay. All right, back to this. A lot of people don't know about this one. I personally, so if you look at this, here I'm gonna. If you look at this, right here, okay. So if you look at this one right here, where the MACD started to turn upward, right here, you see where it crossed the red line, the blue line crossed the red line. If everybody sees that, that'd be great. That indicated a move, a correction in the price action. The signal, that is a signal. You'll hear Charlie talking about signals. That is a signal. So you can expect it, but MACD is actually a lagging indicator. You won't see the cross until right here. So right here is the point. The cross comes here. So you've already missed a little bit of the up move, which is okay, but you can get faked out. The reason I like wave trend oscillator is because it is very similar to the MACD, but it runs a lot tighter. And you can see that that turn is right in line with it instead of a couple notches off. You know, this is, we're on a 4-hour chart, so you know that little movement is a whole hour of difference, which on, you know, the right day, you know, if you're talking about between this candle and this candle, you know, that's a big difference. So.
Hey, so Corey, can I just ask a quick tidbit on that? So like, for example, you're looking to enter a trade, you're using the wave trend.
What you want to do is you want to marry.
Well, let me just run this thought process, and then you let me know.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So you're looking for an entry, for example, here. You're looking at the wave trend. You're making your entry based on the wave trend indicator, and then you're waiting for confirmation on the MACD. And at that point, you say, okay, now I'm putting a trailing stop. But in between those time periods, you're kind of watching it for that confirmation. Is that kind of like the approach?
Yeah, you're looking for it to reverse. You're also, if you want to find confluence when you're doing charting. You're looking for confluence. So I'm not just looking at the wave trend, and that's it to like really get me into the trade.
Yeah.
You're looking
but just
for,
to keep it simple, like let's just strictly between those two indicators. Just
you find one. You find one indicator, and then you start looking at your other indicators to find confluence.
Okay, but do you personally wait for 2 or 3 of them to match up, or like let's say you already have a notion, and because you said wave trend strategy leads the MACD, so it's almost like you will know you want to enter it, you're suspecting that it's going your direction. The wave trend strategy starts the entry, then you're watching it closely to get the confirmation for the MACD, and then you say, okay, the trade is on. I'm putting my trailing stop. And
for the signal lines, I look more at the wave trend.
Mm-hmm.
So I look more at these lines on the wave trend. But as far as the histogram is concerned, which is this right here, these red and blue lines, this histogram just is not nearly as accurate to me because these lines are so much tighter. This histogram is a representation of what's going on between these two lines.
Okay, yeah. I see.
So it's easier to see on the MACD. So if you see right here, the further apart this line is from this line, the bigger this is.
Yeah.
And you see like how small it is right here, like it turned really quickly. That's a small histogram. So if it's below the 50 line, they're gonna be pink. So the histogram is a representation of the signal line. The reason I don't just use the wave trend and I keep the MACD on here is because when you're looking for divergences, the histogram is easier to see and to use looking for divergence. And I'll show you you'll hear Charlie talking about divergence quite a bit. If you look here right now, I'm going to show you some divergence on the RSI. So divergence is when two things are not matching between the price action and an oscillator. So if you look here, this is slightly slanted downwards. Is everybody? Oh, sorry, I keep doing that. Trend line. Okay, this is slightly slanted downwards. If we zoomed in and I put it dead on the ends of the candles, you would notice it as well. This is slanted downwards. If you look at this same time period, we'll always do that. Alt V. So those 2 points right there. If you look at the RSI here and you draw a trend line between those 2 points, and you see this line is headed down and this line is headed up. So these don't match. The relative strength is actually starting to change to positive, but this is still showing negative price swing. But when you have an oscillator showing a divergence to the price action and it's below the 50 line, you can expect a correction. And that's exactly what we saw. It started to take off after that.
Great stuff, man. Thanks.
I would take it upon yourselves to look up. It takes a little while. You got to run it through your head like 100 times. But look up divergence and bullish and bearish divergence. This is bullish divergence. It's because it's heading up. Bearish divergence would be the opposite. So like how if this is going up right here, but you can see this RSI is going down right here. This is actually moving sideways, but imagine it was moving up. This RSI would start to show bearish divergence because we're extremely overbought here. And then we're moving back down into regular territory. It can get pegged up here in the overbought, like the other day when it was just riding high. But it will see a correction. It will not stay at overbought, more than a few days. Okay. I want to get to a couple of our tools here now. Well, actually, no. So we did the oscillators. These are your oscillators. So I want to show you the overlays. I use, you're going to want to go to indicators again. And if it comes up and says you need to upgrade your plan, then what you guys need to do is just go down here and just exit out of your, where it says remove here. You'll just need to exit out of your oscillators to create space. But what you're going to want to do is go to indicators and type in moving average. Just regular moving average. And you're going to want to click on it 3 times. 1, 2, oh, I can't click on it anymore. But you're going to want to click on it 3 times.
Okay.
All right. And then what I like to use the 27. A lot of people use the 20. Charlie uses the 10 and the 20. That's what he likes as the moving averages he likes to use. So if you're looking at his charts and you see like lines running through the price action, it's usually the 10 and the 20. When the 20 is below the 10, or when the smaller number is on top, then that's when we're in our best price action typically. So if you look here, I have the 27-day moving average. I have the 200-day moving average. I know these aren't in a row. And I have the 50-day moving average. 200 and 50 are a non-negotiable. You want to have the 200 and the 50, especially when you're looking at a daily chart. The reason you want to have those two is there's what they call a golden cross and a death cross. A death cross is when the 50 line breaks below the 200. My 200 is yellow, my 50 is red. My 200 is yellow, my 50 is red. So when the 50 line crosses below the 200, then you're in a bearish price action move. So as soon as these like got twisted up here or started heading towards each other, the yellow line here and the red line here, as soon as they start heading towards each other, you know that more than likely if they cross, which that's the way their momentum is going, that you're going to have a bearish move. So always keep an eye on your 50 and your 200-day moving averages on the daily. That's something you should check regularly, especially with Bitcoin.
What does this 50 and 200 means? Because
it's the moving average of the price action over the last 200 periods. So it's whatever time scale you're on. So it's 200 4-hour periods or 50 4-hour periods.
Okay.
It's relative to what time frame you're on.
Okay,
So,
because I use a 4-hour time frame now, and when I add an MA, it automatically put it on MA 9. So,
yeah. Oh, sorry. Okay, my bad. Thank you for that. So you're gonna want to go beside it and go to settings.
Oh
Sorry,
yeah.
guy.
So I did that, but I was wondering why is it like 9 by default, and why I have to change it to 200 or 50.
That's just the default. I don't really have a good answer for you for
Okay,
that one.
no problem.
There's literally, I watched a guy who he wrote some code that back tested like the NASDAQ and the S&P and all kinds of stuff to find what is the best moving average. And it really depends on the chart, like the time frame and all that stuff. But on the daily chart, the 27-day he found to be the most accurate. Not that it hugs the tightest, but that it's the most accurate in predicting a swing down. So you can see it right here. I'll put it on the daily. You can see right here, it breaks the price action, breaks the 27, and it just boom crashes. As soon as it breaks above the 27, it just continues on up. So I really like the 27, the 200, and the 50. Those are my favorites. Other people use the 80, the 50, and the 200, the 20, the 50, and the 200. But the 50 and the 200 are pretty common amongst a lot of crypto traders that I've seen. Like I said, Charlie, I've noticed he uses the 10 and 20 a lot. That would be a good question for him in the webinars. But from what I've seen and what I've learned, the 50 and the 200 are your macro level lines. And then the 27-day I really like for accuracy.
Okay, because like when I put 200 for the moving average, the line it's really far from the price line. Actually.
Yeah. You want it to be. It's gonna follow. It's gonna lag very far. The thing about the 200 is the 200 can show you a lot of support. Typically the 200 isn't gonna stray too far above. Right here it did. This was that. Okay, well, this was March of this year. Usually the 200 is going to be used in this next bull cycle. Like these are going to cross the price action quite a bit, the 50 and the 27. But the 200 in a bull market is going to be used as support. I don't really know how to explain that, but you'll see it play out. If you see how these are chopping amongst it, the 200 is always going to ride below it as long as the price action previous to it has been bullish.
Hey, I think if you do the weekly, you'll see that during the COVID spike down, it bounced off right off the 200-day moving average.
Oh yeah, good call.
That's my friend. Yeah, my friends told me he entered there. So it's actually really pretty interesting.
Yeah. So I mean, right there, that you want to check all time frames, especially when you're looking for trends. The further you zoom out, the more trend you can find. So good call, Arthur. Okay,
Hey,
I
Corey,
wanted to,
can I double check one of your
Yeah.
settings really quick?
course.
If you go to the volume on the top left by your moving average indicators and
Yep.
click into the settings for your
Yep.
MA length, where are you set at? Yours is at
20.
Okay.
Is that? I think that's the default, right? I might have changed it.
No worries. I think I accidentally changed mine when I was trying to change my moving average. So I was just trying to see where you were at. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. And what's cool is, you can, this little eyeball over here, if anything's ever, well, another thing, like I told you, you can click into these. You can also click into this and get rid of your oscillators if you want to like do some drawing and stuff. I want to get to triangles here in a second. Yeah, we're doing good on time. Yeah, you can always come out over to this little eyeball and get rid of stuff. So if you want to look, if I had all my stuff on, like, I mean, look at this. This is ridiculous. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? But if I wanted to look at the Ichimoku Cloud, which I'm not going to teach the Ichimoku Cloud right now, but if I wanted to look at it, I'm not going to put on all the moving averages because it's just too much information to decipher. And then the last one I'll show you, because Charlie uses them a lot, is type in Bollinger Bands, Bollinger bands. I think my settings are wrong. Can someone read me the default settings for Bollinger Bands?
Is it just the regular Bollinger Bands, not Bollinger Band strategy?
Yeah, just regular. Oh yeah, standard deviations 2. That's what I changed. Okay. I think that I don't know how Charlie has his set up. I'd be curious to ask him. Someone asked me the other day about this. Because he has like more than just the bottom line and the top line. But basically, one thing you'll notice about Bollinger Bands is when they get pinched, like right here, you're looking at an extreme explosive move coming out of this. When it's getting really squeezed like this, it's going to either go straight up or it's going to go straight down. And so what you can do, since you know it's pinching, is right here. It would be a great place to enter into the trade, put a stop loss. Because I mean, if it blasts downwards, then you take your stop loss, and that's okay. But if it explodes upward, then I mean you're sending it, and it's coming. You don't know when, but it won't continue in this tight Bollinger Band squeeze for very long. You can see that it's medium, it's big, medium, big. Pretty much big. It's just been big for a while now. But when it's tight like this and not much has been happening, you're typically looking for an explosive move. Also, when it's been riding the Bollinger Band on the low side and it exits out of the low side and you see it about here, it's typically not going to drop back down to the Bollinger Band. It's typically going to continue up. That's not a guarantee, but because it seems to, I don't know why, but it seems to me that it happens on the low side, but on the high side, it can just ride the top side. But on the low side, it typically doesn't ride the low side, but I haven't seen all the charts, and I don't use Bollinger Bands like all the time, so don't quote me on that. I'm going to turn off the Bollinger Bands now, and I'm going to where's Martin? Martin just sent me a picture. Are you asking Martin how to change the color?
Oh no, like it seems it's very far from the price line, so I'm wondering if like
Now the 200 is going to be far from the price line. It's going to be the furthest.
okay,
from the
but
price line.
it's
The
never,
lower the number, the tighter to the price action it's going to be.
okay, yeah. So it's normal if it's not crossing the price line at all.
Yeah, you don't want it to. If it crosses the price line, then you're going down. You don't want it. You really don't want it near the 200.
Okay.
Like at all.
Like because yours is like crossing at some time, right? When I look at your screen.
I'm on the daily and I'm looking all the way back to March.
Your one is the yellow one, right?
What?
Your MA 200 is the yellow line,
Yes,
right?
it is the yellow line.
So at some in May and March it's crossing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
March is right here. And then May it's right here.
Yeah. So,
yeah. Here,
okay.
let me go back to your thing.
I need to check because I didn't send you the same time frame.
You're on a 4-hour time frame. I don't think you're back far enough.
Let me check.
I think if you zoomed out, if you roll your wheel down on your mouse and zoom out. Also, well, I noticed one thing on yours. Let me look here. I'll show you. You need to have a log on. You don't have log on. Log scale.
Should I
click log? Yeah. Click log scale right here at the bottom right.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Everyone should also have it on log scale, not linear.
What does that do?
So linear would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This makes it to where as it goes up, it's it changes based on percentage. So here I can just show you what happens when I put on. This is a linear scale. So you can see how this area is right here where the crash was when I put on log, how much more exaggerated it shows it because of the percentage difference of the drop. Does that make sense?
Yes.
All right, cool. So if you see right here, I have a toolbar. This is my favorites toolbar. So this houses all your tools here. If you ever want to measure, I'm gonna start with this one. This is your measuring tool. If you ever want to measure a percentage move, so the other day when Bitcoin started to take off, did we didn't get a 24% increase, did we? I guess we did. How much did Bitcoin go up? Has it really gone up 24%? I guess so. 21%.
Yeah, because it went from like 19,000 to it hit over 23. It's about a
3.5, I think.
Yeah, so yeah, went up like 22%. Holy shit. So you can always check your percentage of a move with the measuring tool here. Also, if you have the this little button on right here, it'll kind of jump. It's the magnet mode. So it'll snap to certain things. I honestly don't like it. It doesn't affect it that much, but I just don't like it. Okay, so we're gonna start here. This is just your cross. It's your main thing that you always use to grab and move the chart around. Also, I forgot to show you guys this. If you come over here, you can scale the size of the chart up and down. So you'll need to do that when you zoom like that, and you're gonna need to pull it down. So bring it in, pull it down. So it just makes it easier for you to navigate the chart. And then if you don't have a mouse or a wheel, the guys who are using the pad, you can also come down here to this to stretch it out. I should have started there. Okay, we got some time. All right, so the next one down is your trend line. And if you click on this little arrow here, you'll have all kinds of different things. The only one you really need to use at the beginning is trend line. And you can use parallel channel too if you want, but trend line is the main tool you'll use all the time. If you see here, there's a hotkey for Alt T. So if you hit Alt T, you got trend lines. Another thing about trend lines is if you hit Control on your, or I think it's Command, I think on Apple. If you hit Control and click on it, if you hold Control and click on it, you can replicate it. So that way you don't have to come back over here and click. If you want to delete, you got to click on it, come up to the trash can. Come up to the trash can. If you want to just delete everything, all the drawings off of your chart, you can just remove drawings right here. And this will get rid of all of your drawings, but none of your oscillators and overlays. This trash can right here. Which I'm going to, I can't add it. Okay. So under your, over here, you're going to want to star this, and it'll start you a favorites bar, because you don't need to be going into this every single time to get your stuff. I personally have trend line. Then if you go to this one, I have Fib Retracement and Fib Extension, which Charlie talked about that he uses. I put these two on my favorites bar. And then I have Brush favorited, Curve favorited. You can also favorite Rectangle. When you see Charlie's support and resistance areas, he'll use the rectangle, and you'll see things like this for his support and resistance areas, instead of just, I typically just do like Alt H, like I showed you earlier, and I just do support and resistance lines all the way across, because if I go like way back here, then I can see if there was support and resistance from like a long time ago. and send it. It'll send it all the way across. And these are always in play. All support and resistance levels are always in play. There's one more, actually, before we move on, there's one more indicator that I forgot to show you. This is a paid indicator, so I saved it till last. You'll have to pay for it, but VPVR. So if you go into indicators, you'll type in VPVR. It'll come up visible range, actually. Visible range. And some of you may recognize it. Visible range is, oh, there we go. Visible range is these yellow bars over here. This will show your trading area. And what you're going to want to do, yours are probably really blocky like this right here. You're going to want to go into the settings. And you're going to want to change this number to 200. And I changed this number to 100. I think Charlie just leaves it on the default. But you're definitely going to change the row size to 200. And it'll make all the lines smaller like this. Okay. And then what VPVR, you have, like I said, you have to pay to get VPVR, and you're going to want to pay to use multiple oscillators and overlays. However, what VPVR can do is typically between like there's so many of them. So if you see here, there's a lot of chop right here. So that means there's a lot of trading volume here in these areas. Also right here. There's a lot of trading volume right here in this area. So we topped out, around 20K over here. So there's a lot of trading volume in that area. Then there was a lot more right here. And then we came down. Well, this is like the 19K area. But you guys saw when it went into price discovery, since there's not been anything traded in these areas, that means people don't have sells and buy orders on the order books, that like auto buys and auto sells on the order books. So as buys come in, the price just skyrockets because there's nothing holding it back. No one has sells at 20,500 because there's no reason to until it breaks out, because if it breaks out into those areas, traders are gonna go for the long position and trade for the upside. They're not gonna try to sell at right when it breaks all-time highs. That wouldn't make sense. So now we have our now we have
what's the difference between the volume indicator below and the visible range?
Okay, good question. So this is the trading volume for this candle right here. This candle. The VPVR is the trading volume for this range. So this, how much this range has been traded in price. So this price between 12,200 and 11,900, or
And that's across all time, right?
what? Yeah,
That's across all time, right?
No, that's that is across all time that you are showing on your screen. That's why if you zoom back, it gets bigger. See how much bigger it is? Because it's pulling data from this area now. But when I zoom over here, it goes smaller. If I go completely like this, then it just goes up there because it's only reading the data that's on the screen. So it's not across all time. It's just across time that you're showing on your screen. So you're going to want to fill up your screen with as much data as possible when you're using BPBR. So like when we broke, in March, that day that this took off and it broke right here, I mean, like, honestly, we were in for it. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, honestly, you should have, because the support and resistance line is actually like right here. Right here, you can see this bounce. You should definitely have a stop loss there or above if you're looking to keep your position. You don't want to keep it too close, but you know, when it's going into uncertain times, like if I was looking at this volume profile, I would have, and I saw this, and I saw like this gap here and this gap here, and the price was up here, I probably would have had a stop loss in here. Granted, that's considering you leave your Bitcoin on the exchange and not in your wallet, because if you're in your wallet, you can't have a stop loss attached to it. So it just matters how comfortable you are, you know, holding your Bitcoin or not. I tend to leave some of my Bitcoin on the exchange, and then I put the other half or more in the cold storage, and that's uber long term. You know what I mean? But if I want to save some of my losses for some major unforeseen move down, then I leave it on the exchange with like a random stop loss, like way, you know, just keeping security. Okay, so we have our favorites toolbar here. Let me show you guys.
Corey, I've got a random question.
Yes.
Here, could I screen share for a second?
Of course.
Here you go, man. It says the host disabled screen sharing.
Oh, let me figure out how to do that. Go ahead.
Cool. See how mine just doesn't look like yours? Like it looks super, there's no like jiggity jaggediness of it. It's all like very close. How did you get yours, like your candles and everything? When you zoom out, it looks the same way like Charlie's has always looked, where you've got giant jumps and then
Scroll go over to your numbers on the right hand side. Go to your numbers right there. Scroll, yeah, click. Now click at the bottom and scroll up. Yeah, like that.
okay.
Is that better?
Yeah. I think so.
Is that better? Get rid of your Bollinger Bands, your BB. Go to your. Oh, you got rid of them. But okay, you can just also just leave them there, but hit the little eyeball, and then.
Okay. Yeah, sure.
It'll turn them off, but yeah. Zoom in a little bit. Yeah, you're on a 4 hour. I'm looking at a 3 day, so that's why.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you go to the little arrow, go to the arrow beside day, and you're gonna go all the way to the very bottom, all the way to the very bottom, you're going to want to click on minutes versus minutes. Click on days, hit 3 right there, and then hit add. There you go. Now you have 3 days right there below your 1 day. You want to star that. Now you have 3 days in your toolbar at the top.
Okay. Where are we at? Just trying to figure out how to make it not look so like how you fill out your screen super quickly.
I'm trying to understand what you mean by that.
I guess like you're able to see
Zoom small. Go the other way. Go to the no. Yeah, there you go. Nope. Down. There you go. Now zoom out. No. Now will your will. Okay, zoom. No, you're all the way out.
whoops.
Zoom in. Roll your wheel in. Roll your wheel in.
I am.
Okay, now, no, too far. Stop right there.
Okay.
Now go to your numbers.
Yep.
Stretch them upwards. There you go. Stop. Now grab your screen. Click and move it to the left. Yeah, and then will it out slightly, like will up slightly, and then move your numbers up slightly. You just have to play with it. You'll get the hang of moving it around.
Yeah, that's the hardest part for me. Okay, I'll figure it out. I don't want to take any more time.
Yeah, you're good.
Cool.
Can you just screen share?
Somewhere. Where's that fucker?
It's at the top. The very top. There you go. Thanks.
Mm-hmm.
All right. All right. And then I want to show you guys what are we gonna do? Okay. Let's 610. We need to bang out a few of these. So triangles. If you guys want to look up patterns, you want to look up Bukowski. That's Bukowski. 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 He's the guy who like back tested a bunch of these patterns. So like a head and shoulders pattern, which is like this here. This is the head and shoulders. That's a head and shoulders pattern. And then most recently, I've been mainly looking at here lately on Bitcoin. I've mainly been looking at this ascending, they call it an ascending broadening wedge. So that's what Bitcoin's in now. Actually, you could probably draw. The further back you take it, kind of the better from when the trend has been going. So I wouldn't take it from up here because that's before the trend. That's from the bear market. What you're gonna want to do is take it to, when you look for trends, you want it to touch at least twice. So we're gonna pull it right there. Previously, I had it here, but once, sorry, it's taking me a second. Recently, I had the trend here, and then control. But Bitcoin broke out above this trend. So I kind of changed it and looked at it again and moved the trend there. Trend lines are subjective, so you got to play around with them and kind of see. But the key point is you have to have 2 points. 3 is best or more. I mean, if you have 4 touches, then it's extremely relevant. But 2 touches is all you need. This one actually has 3, it has 1, 2, 3 here. And that's why the other day when I saw Bitcoin break this upper trend line, because this trend is since March. You see what I'm saying? So when I saw Bitcoin take off, I was waiting for it to get rejected at this 21,100 level. But when it didn't and it broke above there, typically what you'll see when a trend is broken, and it did it perfectly. It broke through. Here, let's look at the 1 hour. It broke through. It retested slightly, and then it took off again. Typically, when you see a trend break, you're gonna want to see a strong candle through. You're typically not gonna see little candles through a trend break. If you see little candles around a trend line, you're typically gonna see a rejection. When you break a trend, again, I'll repeat it. When you break a trend, you'll typically see a strong candle through, if your trend lines are drawn accurately. It actually, if we bring this trend line down slightly to where these are actually touching this, you can actually see it did reject off of the that trend, and then it pushed back through it because the bulls were just showing up that day. So can everybody see how it actually did reject off of that? And then, so sometimes it'll blast through and it'll retest down and then go. And so sometimes when you see a trend break, everybody will want to FOMO in here. Everybody will want to FOMO in here. But the best part is you typically want to get in here after it retests and then takes off. After I saw this, I actually thought Bitcoin was probably going to drop down, but it didn't. It rallied. So technical analysis is never perfect. It's just about gathering as much data as you can to make an educated decision.
Corey, just to use your example from earlier, that could have also been like a good point to maybe put in some, put in the order at the resistance line with the stop loss too. Yeah, just to like hedge that bet.
Once it broke, yeah, if you didn't have a position in Bitcoin, I wish I would have kept that line.
No, it's all good. I could just see them like off that, like that
yeah,
count bounce just to test it either way. You can put some money down there and just say like at 10%, have a sell order just in case. And then if it bounced back up, then you win. So either way, like you could use that. You just got to play maybe the strategy a little different.
Yeah, exactly. You're
Nice.
right
Okay,
on with
cool.
that. So another thing is, so more relevant than the trend lines that you draw at angles is support and resistance lines. That's why I was telling you guys about Alt H earlier, or the rectangle like Charlie likes to use. So if you look here, there's a extreme area of support. It's more like right here. You can see it bounces here, bounces here, bounces here. It broke below here which looked bearish, but once it got back out of it, we didn't see it retest. So when you're looking at long support resistance lines, like this one, I wouldn't be so like overbearing on it. I would look more just directly at the recent price action. Also, if you guys want to ever like bring anything up, if you just start typing, it'll start doing your symbol search. You don't actually have to go click on this. So what I meant by that, by recent price action, is right here you can see a lot of support where it's just moving sideways. What I would do is, after I saw this move up away from this support line and continue to move sideways, I probably would have entered here. I actually probably, this is an accumulation phase. Once you see this bounce like so many times, well, that's on a 1 hour. So let's move to 8 hour. Let's see what it looks like. Sorry, this is how technical analysis goes. You're constantly like second guessing yourself. But you can see how there's a support and resistance line right here. So like I don't know who just asked that, but you could enter in a trade right here, place your stop loss right here, and then you're only looking at, you know, a 2% loss on your investment if Bitcoin decides to take a dump. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that was me, Lawrence. But yeah, no,
Yeah.
absolutely. I think so.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. As I see these like charts, I feel like that's a way you can start kind of like plotting ahead of the market. If you're like seeing
exactly.
these convergences, you can just say, okay, cool, I'm anticipating some type of action or some type of break at this point. And if I think it's going up, then I just place my stop loss. And if it's riding down, I guess, so let's flip that around, Corey. So like, if we're going to use that resistance line to plan a breakout, how about if you're like dollar cost averaging in and you're trying to read the chart to figure out maybe potentially where a dip is? And if you covered this already, excuse me, but I'm just thinking like in the inverse.
No, you're good. So like you see how this is falling right here, and dollar cost was talking about buying falling things earlier. Yep. You don't like Charlie said, you don't want to catch a falling knife, so you don't want to like put your whole position in as soon as you see red candles.
Right.
But you could start putting in, you know, 5, 10, 15. You want to start small and then work your way up. So 5, 10, 15, 20, you know, and then 40. Because that way you're putting more in the lower you go. So you're making your average lower down. On this one, you can see that it bounced and then it's going up. It's never going to just bounce and go straight back up unless it's like on a extreme just drop, like a real extreme drop. Typically you're going to see a bounce, you're going to see another drop, and then continue up. If you see we'll zoom in right here. If you see a low, you see a low, if you see a low like this, and you see a higher low, then you can tell that the trend has reversed.
Got it.
But you have to determine what is a low. You know what I mean? It's not just the next candle. It has to be a swing. You can't just be like, oh, well, the next candle's higher, so that's a higher low. That's not how it works.
Right. It's like action back up and then it's like a push back down. Yeah. And then action back up. So now that sets like two different course, like reverse action on both of those.
Yeah, exactly. So up here, you see a high, and then you see a lower high. So you're gonna know that the trend has reversed. So if you wanted to draw,
Yeah.
if you wanted to,
Okay.
if you wanted to draw a shit, why? I feel like if you wanted to draw a triangle, you know, or a trend line, now you see the trend line. That's your high, your lower high, your lower high. That's your trend.
Got it. And then it looks like even on that more severe drop over to the left, we still got like that double, that high and then the lower high, and then it breaks back down.
Right here.
Does that look right to you? Like, would that have signaled something of action there?
This
or is
is
that too close together?
So this looks more like a what they call a double top.
Okay.
So a double top or a double bottom can also signal a reversal. A higher low is better to show the reversal than a double bottom. So there's double tops and double bottoms. That they both show reversals, but a higher low is more accurate in predicting the reversal than just a double bottom. This is actually a lower low than this. However, since they're really close and it is based on your technical analysis, like this is one we looked at earlier. So this low is lower than this low slightly, but they're so close that it's almost like a double bottom. So if you see that, right? You're looking at price action first, then you come down here to your RSI, like I showed Ashton, I think, earlier. And then you see that your oscillator is actually bullish. Then since these are so close, even though this is a lower low than this, the trend has been kind of going down slightly. You can, because your oscillator is showing bullish divergence, you can look to expect a correction. And then what you can do is, since you've seen this bounce. So really where I would enter on this one is you see this bounce, you see a strong positive action on the price action, right? And that's right after you've seen your bullish divergence. You get a retest of, you'll hear a lot about retests. So positive retest, I would enter in right here. You're never going to catch this. It's impossible. Like,
right.
You're not going to do it. The only way you could catch this is go back here and see how much buy pressure there was on this one, how long that wick was. The only thing you could do is put a buy in at that level. So the level is 17,642. You can put a buy in at 17,642, buy it, set your stop loss down here. And if it continues to drop and you're willing to lose your 2%, then you're willing to lose your 2%. That's the only way you're going to ever catch the bottom of anything, is just be like, I don't care about the 2%. But if you want to be more, if you want to mitigate your risk more, you're going to enter in right here. So one thing my other teacher, he says to everybody, the money is not made here and here. The money is made here to here. Just like Charlie was talking about today, if you can catch 60% of the move in the middle and get out and then buy back in later, you're winning. Like, you're extremely winning. So
super helpful. Thanks, Corey.
Yeah, no problem. I'm probably gonna have to do a second one of these because we're starting to run low on time. I really want to show you guys Fib retracements, but it's a little hard to grab that concept. So I'm gonna probably leave that for next time. Some other ones to look for though is we were looking at theta the other day, and I remember showing some of the guys on the stream this. You can see how this is a low, a lower low, and this is actually a higher low. So I drew this parabola here because I noticed that this trend had changed. It looks like a bunch of chop, but if you are distinct about the lows, the trend has changed. So at this point, after I've seen this, and especially after I've seen this drop, and it's a higher low than this low, I would get in this trade. I didn't because I've been trying to sort out other trades. But I think Arthur took me up on it.
You didn't get any?
No, I didn't get any theta. I should have.
Wow.
I chart so much stuff. I kind of have my positions. Here's the thing about it. If I'm gonna go into this trade, I've got to pull major resources out of my Bitcoin or Ethereum positions.
Oh,
because
that's why. Okay.
I'm going big on my main coins. I used to throw like 300 or 500 like at this coin or that coin, and then I'd make gains, but
against Bitcoin and Ethereum, it just doesn't come out as much.
Yeah, and having a larger position size makes a huge difference.
Yeah,
you know, so I'll make a bigger percentage gain on a smaller position size. It doesn't really equate. So if I add that $500 on top of my thousands of dollars in Bitcoin, it's gonna exponentially make me more gains.
Well, this one you're expecting.
Because I've done the math.
Yeah, like on this one, like you're expecting a huge. The guess here, it's like a major breakout, and you just got to sit it out and hope it goes parabolic.
Well, if you remember, when we talked about that the other day, I think, I don't know if it was right here.
I think it was like in the 70s.
I think it was right here.
Yeah.
Where we were talking about it. And I drew this upper resistance line. And I was like, if it breaks this and it goes into price discovery, or I think I don't know if that's the highest it's ever been, but
80 cents. It was like exactly 80 cents.
Yeah. So once I knew it passed this line, I drew this on that same day that I gave this trade out to you. I drew this line right here. I said it would go up, it would come back, retest this line, and then take off. So if I would have entered, I would have done the safe entry for long term instead of entering in down here and worrying about it hitting this and bouncing back down.
Yeah.
I would have waited for this confirmation candle right here that blasts through that resistance. And then I would have waited for the retest here. And then I would have entered and I would have went big. So if you enter here, that I would, if I would have entered here, I would have entered conservatively and dollar cost averaged in. As soon as I saw it break here and retested, I would have went big here and then.
Yeah. I hit like I was thinking.
I mean, I haven't wrote it out right here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I saw that. I was hoping to accumulate more before because I was looking at it more fundamentally, but at this point, this is more of a technical. And I was watching it retest actually. And I was considering adding more in, but I already had more in from before when I saw it more like an intraday like swing. But I was watching that retest and it was not a lot of volume there. It was really like small blocks going off. So I don't think it's coming back down there for a little while.
Yeah, you are accurate in the fact that volume is decreasing. That's a little bearish. However, RSI never got into overbought territory. So
well, I was just watching the volume on the retest specifically because if I knew because if someone was going to break that 80 cents again, there would have been big blocks going off. And it was really more like just traders getting shaken out left and they were and then that's it. And then it's just like, it just goes off again a little and we'll see.
Most importantly, watching this volume, I can see why you were doing that. But most importantly is this break of this upper trend line, which people have sells because they know this is the top. So traders will put sell orders in right at that number. When you see that much volume, you know that there's people who are going to follow it.
Yeah.
The safest entry for the trade is right here. This is the safest entry. So when you're looking at making more trades rather than less trades, making more trades but mitigating risk, this is the place to enter, honestly.
Okay.
Like right here, like honestly, this right here with 20x leverage is
yeah.
like that's what you want. That's the money
Yeah.
maker.
I
You
was yeah.
put your stop loss in right there and fucking send it.
I was watching because you could have put buys right below 80 and catching the wicks, and then you just wait. Let's say you get like 79.5.
Yeah, but you also don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
You're talking pennies now, and it's you want to catch the bottom, as far down as possible. But remember, it's really hard to do that. What you want to do is catch the 90% of the move. You don't want to miss it by trying to catch that extra 5 cents.
So maybe stack like
I would have put it at
80 and a half, 80, and then if you get 79 and a half, just because people play with the wicks.
Yeah, you could have set multiple buy orders. Yeah, you definitely could have. That's actually, you could have dollar cost your buy orders just right in a row right there.
And then
that's not a bad idea.
Probably lose like 2 cents if you get shaken out or reverses. But yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. So I remember you said that. So, and from this point, you're just riding out the trend unless it goes overbought.
Yeah. Now,
another
thing is right here. This is a lagging indicator. This just crossed this. So previous resistance when broken becomes support. Always remember that. If you ever hear SR flip, that's what they're talking about. It's a support resistance flip. So everybody write that down. Previous resistance lines become relative support. And the same is true on the downside. If it breaks to the downside, then previous support lines become resistance. That's all traders use that. But what I really like about this is that the RSI never went into overbought. Like it went high, but it never went into overbought. So that means this still has some room to run. So that right there is a cup, kind of a cup and handle is what they would consider this. So that's another.
Hey, Corey, it seems like for an altcoin, like a long cup like this is very heavy accumulation, which I didn't notice with any of the other charts.
Yeah, but Theta's it is an altcoin, but it's got it's been around for a little bit, so it's got some decent market cap. Okay, what else? Sorry. Also I like to have the arrow in there so I can place it to show where things are. And then also I like to have text. I don't know if I showed you guys, but where's text? Oh, under this arrow, arrow here, favorite that one, and then text. Text is really nice if you're trying to share your charts with your friends. Instead of writing it in the description, it's good to be able to write on the chart. So if you have text, go in there, type whatever, and then you can move it, put it, where you want to put it. So. Another thing, I showed you guys you can use the measuring tool earlier. If you do that, as soon as you click off of it, it disappears. the one Charlie uses is right here, price range and date range. So if you use price range, then it does the same thing, but it stays. All right, I have enough time, so I'm gonna just knock out the last one. The parallel channel is another one. It's make sure you guys added it. It's right here, parallel channel. So you can draw triangles and all that stuff. And if anybody has any more questions, I can go over triangles and stuff more with them. Triangles are a little bit, it's an extended conversation. But just channels, you click on channel. Go like to there and then there. So you can kind of see that that's the channel right there for this one. I don't use channels very much. I have a crypto Mitch Ray TA on YouTube. He uses channels a lot. So, and then here I'm going to show you guys a fib real quick. So, oh, another thing for you guys, if you go down here, no, that's not it. If you go right here to select layout, beside base layout, you go to select layout. You can pick this. So this is one chart. This is two charts side by side. This is two charts top and bottom. I do 4 charts. So I have 4 different charts. So I can have I have Bitcoin dominance here, so I can check dominance real quick. I have Bitcoin here. I have Ethereum here, and then I have whatever altcoin I'm going to look at here. This is the main one I use, and then you come here and you blow it up. Minimize, and you can go back to these. This way, if I'm just wanting to watch a couple charts, but I'm not really ready to make a move on anything, then I can sit back and watch them, play video games, whatever. So again, that's right here. And then you just click on it, you'll see how the blue changes. So that means it's selected. That's a function I use a lot. So, and then here, I'm going to show you guys. So we're going to do a Fib retracement. So we'll do Fib retracement of this major high to this major low. So Fibonacci retracement tool is this one with all the lines. It is under right here, Fib retracement. So if you come to a major high and you come down to a major low, so you'll see that typically when you find your low, you'll see that it's always typically gonna, once you find your low, it's always gonna bounce to your 0.886. And typically you can expect it to at least reverse to the 618. That's the golden area, as they call it. And then this is your half. And then if it gets bullish, it'll go to your 382. You can expect a rejection here. If it continues on, that's great. But you can typically expect like a 60% rejection at the 382 level. There's also a way you can, if you click on this, you get an extra toolbar here. When you click on any of your tools, you'll always have an extra toolbar. This is your favorites toolbar. This is the active toolbar to whatever you're using. You can go into, you can always like have it and hide it. Oh, well, that didn't work. So Fibonacci retracement is, these levels are like pi or phi, if you guys know what that is. So I can't really go into all that right now. I don't have enough time. If you go into settings, one thing I like to do is I like to go to labels. I like to change the labels to the right side. They'll be on the left side on your guys. I like to change the labels to the right side. You don't really need a bunch of these extra ones. I leave on the 1.272 and the 1.618 just to see if there's like an extreme move past the 100% mark. But typically you don't look at these. You're just looking at the one level. Main things I would do though, like I said, is change this to right. And then you can also, you can come in here and you can hit reverse, and that'll put the 0 on the bottom and the 1 at the top. So
Hey,
yes, go ahead.
How did you open that Fib retracement thing?
You click on it. You have to be on one of the lines. You can't click in the middle of it. You have to click on one of the lines. There will be a toolbar that'll come up. You can also go to it and click on it and hit settings. So if you right click on one of the lines, you can go to settings that way. And then you scroll down.
Gotcha. And you had it on the right?
Yeah, I put them on the right so that when you zoom in, they're closest to your price action. So like up here, when I'm looking at like fib levels on the most recent price action, if I'm like zoomed in over here, but my numbers are over here and I just got all these colored lines, like it's annoying. So yeah, it's good to go into those, change those. I like to put the background to nothing and just use the lines. You can leave a little bit on there if you want. You can turn it up if you want, but then it really clouds everything up. So it's either good to leave them like pretty low or completely off. And that's the opacity on the background. You can also change, like if you go to settings again, you can change the lines right here. You can go to lines, so it's a full line, and then turn your background off. That's what I like. That's what I found is cleanest for my brain to handle because there's a lot of lines going on. I highly encourage you guys to look up Fib retracements and on YouTube. And then Fib Extension is this one. So I just learned this one from like Charlie, and I had seen it used before, but Charlie really helped me like understand it a little more. So it's a trend-based Fib extension. So you go from the lowest low to a recent high, not the most recent high, but a recent high, and back down to a low. And so you're gonna bring that gray line right in line with your lowest point and stretch it out. And so now we can see that from our zero level, I mean, Bitcoin has just blasted through all the Fib levels at this point. You can see here that I was telling some people the other day that target, we were looking at the 24,000 level. It didn't quite make it. However, if you guys do notice here, Bitcoin at the 1.41 level right here, Bitcoin blasted through it and then it dropped back down, but it didn't break it. It retested it. This becomes a support resistance level in some sort of way. It's not as relative as a price action support and resistance level, but it is relative. So we could see it retesting this level and continuing on to this third target, which today Bitcoin's been pumping again. So besides that, that's pretty much everything I got for you guys, I think.
Sorry, I have a basic question, but could
yeah,
you
go for it.
explain a bit about drawing the support and resistance line? Because like,
yeah, you're
there's
gonna wanna, so you're gonna want to find so you can see this level right here. It's not dropping lower, you know what I mean? It's also not dropping higher. So you could almost, so since it bounced right here off of this little peak, you could almost put a support and resistance line there. Alt H again is how you do the horizontal lines, Alt H. And then it's kind of where you see them bounce, like hard bounces or extended periods like this. So there's kind of a support and resistance here. It hit here and bounced. It hit there and bounced. It's kind of like trend lines. It's extremely subjective, but
okay. So everywhere I see a new low point, I can basically draw.
yeah,
a line.
like see, like right here. This is a good one. Let me get rid of this. You see right here how it 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces. Yeah. That shows support. That shows that buyers have buy orders in there and they're not going to let the price fall below that point because they find that that point is a they find that that point right there is a good buy. Like after Bitcoin fell off the $12,000 cliff back to 10.5, like, or 10,000, like, because 10,000 is such like a neurologically such a, you know, extreme level. Like people saw it hit 9,000, like it would have tanked, probably down to like 7. But 10,000 is just a really strong psychological level. There's a ton of buyers right here. They're not going to let it drop below that. So that's a good support and resistance line.
Okay, I got it.
And just like our all-time high was 19,891. That was an extreme resistance line. So instead of a support, it's resistance. But once we broke resistance, this now becomes support.
Yeah. And also,
thank you. I don't know if someone just sent me. Thank you for whoever tipped me just now. You guys are very nice.
Yeah, I'm a bit confused about the trend lines also as well.
The trend lines, you want to have 2 touches. So 2 major high touches.
Okay.
So 2 major touches to the upside and 2 major touches to the downside. This can
So
be done on any time frame. This is just on a major time.
But
time
for
frame.
example, like the one above for the high points
Right here?
on the but on the left, like the starting point on the left, on the
Right where?
like
Right.
at the beginning, no, in January. It's June and in July.
In
Or
July,
May.
right?
It's before, right?
In May, right
Yeah,
here.
exactly. So here's your first high point, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And why didn't you didn't choose the next high price point? Just
You mean right here?
No, before.
This one?
Yeah. No. After. Sorry.
This one?
Oh, no, you have one in June.
Oh, right
Yeah,
here.
exactly. So May and June.
Well, because if I extended this, then this would have been breaking it. So I'm gonna draw it here. This is where it becomes kind of subjective. That actually, because this has a touch here and this has a touch here and there's touches here. Honestly, that's not a bad idea.
I mean, what?
Because this actually provides more touches to that trend line. So I mean, that's actually not the worst idea, honestly.
Okay.
But that's just how I drew it. This is on a macro level, so getting it extremely accurate it's good, but it's not as necessary as when you're on a smaller time frame is when you want to be really accurate about your line drawing.
Okay.
This is more of a guideline, you know.
Yeah.
But when I saw Bitcoin break above this trend that we've been in for that long, and this is a ascending wedge, like, so as a wedge closes, it gets narrower. That means there's getting pressure to it. Just like if you ever see a triangle. Oh shit. If you ever see a triangle, like symmetrical triangle like this, where you have price action doing this, you're gonna expect an explosive move, just kind of like the Bollinger Bands. You're gonna expect an explosive move to the upside or the downside. And what you can do is once this breaks, you'll typically see it retest. That's when you place your entry, you put your stop loss in the pattern, and you let it ride.
Okay. And just to make sure, when you drew this trend line, same like the above one, you want the last high price point to be the most recent one?
No, it doesn't necessarily have to be the most recent one. That's where it becomes subjective. I mean, it could.
It basically it depends what you're looking for and what is your time frame.
Yeah, you could put it here, but then that means that this isn't relative anymore. You're saying this isn't relative.
Yeah.
I would rather put it here and make all this price action relative. And yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
Cool. And you can actually see that when we hit it up here, it rejected hard. It went back up. It rejected again, and then went down. So we had 2 rejections right at that all-time high, riding that trend line. And then when it broke, when it was in the channel, but it didn't have that trend line resistance, but it just had the price resistance at the all-time high, that's when we got our explosive move up.
Yeah.
But I think we're about out of time, 6:58. So
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody's going to be getting over
one
to
last
the other one.
Thank you
What's
very
up?
much, Gary. That was
Yeah,
very
and
useful.
I'll probably do another one here. You know, because I know this is probably mostly Americans, so I'll probably do one for like the European and all the Aussie guys.
You got your one token Aussie here, dude. Don't worry.
Oh, nice.
And one Irish.
Cool. That's
Hey
sweet.
man, I got a quick question about that triangle you drew. Do you wait for it to test again before you make a decision? Like when it breaks
That's
out?
the safest entry. You can if you're bullish on your oscillators down low, if they're looking like they're bullish, you know, like right here, like that, then you can take the position in the triangle and set your stop loss below the triangle. But breaking out of that triangle with volume confirmation, if you see like a strong volume spike breaking out of that confirmation, you watch it retest, you get in, that's the safest entry. That way you're not like putting all that stress on you in the first like few hours of that trade.
Yeah,
You know
like
what
what's
I mean?
gonna happen? Like there's no way to tell. Just make a decision. It's like better to.
Yeah, you're missing out on a little bit of you're basically missing out on a little bit of price action to save yourself some headache and
Yeah, that's
know,
worth it.
and yeah, and also limiting your risk. So
Yeah, and then you set that stop order, like you were saying, or you set that line, whatever you were calling it. After
yeah,
you
your stop loss. I don't know if you guys have learned how to do stop losses on Binance and all the exchanges, but I don't know if I don't think you can do it on Uniswap, but if anybody wants me to show them that, I can show them that another time.
Uniswap lets you set a slip percentage. So when you're placing the order, it doesn't change in price too much. You can set it to custom, but I think the defaults are 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's different though than a stop loss. So.
Yeah, but that's all I've seen on there. But hey,
okay.
Corey, thank you for the time, man. I really appreciate you walking us through this, bro. This was helpful.
Yeah, no problem. If anybody wants me to help them chart something, if they have or if they want to chart it and then have questions on it, just tag me or in Telegram and I'll look at it. I've just been doing this since April, so I'm not, you know, nearly as experienced as Charlie, but I think I've picked up on it pretty good, and I'm starting to connect a lot of dots. So, yeah, and watch Mitch Ray TA on YouTube. That guy, he's the ultimate when it comes to technical analysis. The dude streams for like 4 to 8 hours. So. Yeah, he's awesome. Cool.
What's the guy?
Has anybody got any more questions?
What is your setup? Do you have a desktop there with like a big monitor, or are you doing this off your laptop?
I can show you. I have I'm on a laptop.
Okay.
And then I can't actually do it. If you see up there I have a big screen TV that I have my laptop plugged into.
Yeah. Okay. And then you have a separate mouse for your laptop, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. So I run 2 screens.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I've got 3.
Nice.
It's really ideal to have multiple monitors when it comes to trading and doing charts and watching charts.
Well, even with this, I was jumping between the Zoom and the browser, so I was thinking 2 monitors would really help.
Oh yeah. Monitor. Any good trader has at least 2 or 3 monitors. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One thing you can do is like you can always get trading view on your phone, I mean, it's pretty difficult, but oh, one more thing, everybody who's in here, sorry, this is majorly important. I do need to show everybody this. If you go over here to the price, you'll see this little plus sign.
Oh, you need to share your screen again.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Can't believe I forgot this. So you go over here to the right side of your screen, you hit the plus sign, and you hit add alert for Binance at that price. And then I don't know why it doesn't come up, but you double click on it, and then you can type in right here your message. So BTC crossing that. So if that's like my sell trigger on Binance, I'll be like sell trigger. Or if it's crossing my target, my first target, I'll be like target 1 hit. And then you can do send to email, show pop-up, notify on app. You'll need to go on YouTube. No. All you need to do is get TradingView application on your phone and make sure it's tied to your application that you use on your computer. You can only have it, I think, on 2 devices once you get the Pro plan. So once you get the Pro plan, you can set alerts. I'm pretty sure that's how it is. I don't think alerts are on the basic package, but I might be wrong. So don't quote me. But that way you'll get a notification from TradingView, and you don't have to watch your shit all the time.
Where'd you hit that button for the edit alert? I didn't see you hit it.
You go right, see how it set the alert? It's a little orange arrow right here. That's where the alert is set. You just double click it.
Oh, so you can move it constantly and just make new ones and it saves all of them?
Yeah. And another thing is like, you can click it from crossing to crossing up. So it only does it if it's crossing up or crossing down. This is crossing. I think you can do it greater than outside channel. Like you can set alerts like all over the place. Up here is another tab for the alerts. So you can set it, and you can type in the price here, so you don't have to like come over here and click it exactly. If you know the price you want, you can put it in right there. You can put it on all kinds of different these, but really I just do it with the price. You can do it once, you can do it every time it crosses. So yeah. But yeah, the alerts thing, major. That's huge. Cool. Are we all good?
Yeah, man, all good.
Awesome. I will see you guys over there. I gotta actually run an errand, and then I'll be in the webinar.
Thanks, no worries, dude. We'll see you there.
And then Jordan, do I send this to you or do I send this to Charlie?
Yeah, so any files, links, like whatever you got, send them directly to me, and then I will upload them to the drive.
Okay, because this is the video. So is he putting those on Vimeo or? Should I send? I'll send it to both of you. I'll figure it out.
Yeah. Sent to both of us because I made Charlie and Dollar Cost an editor, but they're not, they're not adding everything. I'm acting as like the gatekeeper to the drive, if you will. So yeah, just any files and links you can send to me, and then I'll plug them in.
Okay, cool. I'm gonna stop the video here, and we're good to go.
No problem.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you guys. And thanks for the Bitcoin tip that I got from somebody. You guys are awesome.
No worries, man. We'll see you in a bit.
Oh, see you guys.